Hello everybody and welcome to episode 70 of the Pentagon Challenge. I have an opportunity to win my first knockout cup competition in the series, and it is a game we really should be winning over two legs, but I have a sneaky suspicion that unless we destroy Fortaleza, then this will have to go to episode 71 to find the conclusion. But I won't discount my rivals just yet, but the matter of the fact is we have a superior record over these guys, but they seem to be in good form, so we'll show you how they're getting on first. It's like they had a great hat-trick of wins against Botafogo, Curitiba and Boa, teams they should be winning against, but then against Fluminense and Palmeiras they only got the 1 point out of possible 6. So now they play us in this it's going to be a very warm November for certain, but it is drizzly at the Sao Januario, and it'll probably be the last competitive game we play at the stadium before we leave. Probably Santos be the big farewell before we move on to the new stadium. But since we last met, nothing else has happened. You saw Flamengo get that late own goal equaliser to deny us what would have been a crucial 3 points, and the league table looks like this. Flamengo are just a point away from the title. They just need to draw either one of the games and they're secure. Santos and Grêmio remain in pretty patchy form. It seems like nobody wants to finish in the top 5 given the run of form everybody's in. Fortaleza find themselves 15th, and they really should not be relegated at this point. Like, they're well clear of Ponte Preta and Goiás. So the last 5 games form sheet looks a little like this. We are down on 6 points out of 15. Fluminense have 12, Palmeiras 11, Botafogo 10. Flamengo just making absolutely sure they're not losing games, and that's why they're down there, having drawn 3 times, including the draw against us. But look at Santos, look at Sao Paulo, look at Paranense and Corinthians, all really, really poor form. But top 5, it's not necessary if we win this cup, but one thing's for certain, I don't want the board to be on my case if we fail to win this priceless Brazilian cup, because of how often Vasco have failed to win it. So I will show you again, if you didn't see the last episode, they were runners-up last year. They lost to Palmeiras, and they actually won in 2011 against Curitiba, but lost in 2006 against Flamengo. And then that's pretty much it for the history. Let's check out their manager, Claudemir, 40 years of age, no experience on the international stage. He's played all around the place, including Vasco. That's where he began his career. Great narrative there. And then we've got clubs in Israel, and then he's come back to Brazil, and now this is his first major job, and he's been doing a pretty stellar job, if I may say so. He prefers to defend but be direct, and has an attacking mentality. It's a bit confusing, so that could put me off just a little bit. His career, his winning loss ratio is actually pretty good at 57%, and I know the club has probably been up and down the leagues. Yes, they have, so it might be a little off to use those percentages, but I think these guys will pose a serious threat, even though they're down in the bottom half of the league. My team that I have entrusted to win this tournament for the first leg anyway is Eduardo, Daniel Guedes, Nen, Cesar Davis, Ivo, Centurion, Goulart, Barrios, Evander, Sepulveda and Batista. I've had a few injury problems, and of course a few players are ruled out through ineligibility, and then Leandro has a suspension, so I can't play any of those players. But one guy I will hope doesn't get a card either now or in the next game. It'll definitely be Alexandre. He's a very useful centre midfielder. We're a bit short, as I need to buy more in the next transfer window. But without further ado, let's see what Fortaleza are going to counteract that with. As I forgot to turn down my fan, I apologise. There is a hoover going on in the background as well, so I'd say this is going to be a pretty sloppy episode, but it's a Saturday evening. I need to get something recorded, as I'm going to be busy all week working again so I just want to get something done while I have a bit of free time, and let's just see what Fortaleza can come up with. I haven't played them at all, but they've had a superior record over my predecessor, having 1 win and 1 draw. They've gone for a standard 4-4-2, but I know for certain they've got some very good loan players that could cause us immense pain if we let them go. I think this guy Carlau comes from Manchester United. He looks very, very handy for them. They've got Bruno Lopez, not a great player, but still could do damage. Fernandinho, he's another player on loan from Corinthians, and he's very, very good at only 19. And William looks to be their star senior player, 25, and he's wanted, so we might want to put the money out on him. But Leverkusen and Vorskla all want to buy him, so I'll mark these guys all up very, very quickly. Sorry. Let me see now. Yeah, that's definitely the Hoover in the background. I'm so sorry. I'll try and get into the live com now. But the main objective is to avoid the red cards and suspensions. I just want to make sure everyone is taking care of themselves. We'll turn that off, and we'll just see how they get on for the time being. I don't want to be too too bossy early on, but we are the favourites and we need revenge, so let's do that without second thinking. We just want to get the win. But I know Batista, as the lone striker, he hasn't scored at all for me as a Vasco da Gama player, so if he can make the difference this evening, then I'll be so grateful. But here we go, it's time for kick-off. The weather is far from delightful and we need to get this win. Guetta is already cutting on the outside, but Fernandinho cleans up house. The explosive pace that my scout has told me about, we must be sure to let him nowhere near our box, but we're passing the ball around neatly. Evander cuts in, and the club's all-time appearance record holder has put us in the lead in the first 10 minutes, but we need the second goal just to be certain. Barrios and Sepulveda, no can do with that opportunity, but we have to look back to our Chinese FA Cup failure. We allowed the guys, our opponents, Shangang, to get back into the game. They drew the first leg and they destroyed us in the second, so we can't afford that to happen in this instance. But look at how Vasco have started the game very, very brightly. But here come the Fortaleza threat. But now it's a through ball for Batista, but he's not able to get his shot away, and I missed the gaff at the back. And Cesar Davis, no, he can't score either. Big corner, big waste. But we'll go control for the time being. We are passing it around excellently. We'll be more disciplined just to make sure they can't beat us on the counter-attack. Oh, I thought that was in. It's wide. The away goals rule, I presume, is valid for these games, and that would have been a Fortaleza's moment in the clouds, as there is very little sunlight. Barrios has a corner to take, not quite on target. Goulart, he just hit that one far too hard. Eduardo, goal kick given away to Fernandinho. Andreazzi, Bruno Lopez, what a pass to Carlau, and if it wasn't for that offside call, we would be reeling at that equaliser. But it's end-to-end stuff in this first leg. Far post cross, Sepulveda can't beat William on the attack, and now there's another opportunity for Carlau. What a stop by Nin, getting his leg outstretched. We have to go back to standard, as I accidentally clicked my middle mouse button. Yeah, crazy stuff. We have to avoid the long ball that's landing delicately at the feet of the opponents. And Batista with the first touch of the most bizarre but most beautiful at the same time. He couldn't make the shot count at that time as well. The blocks are just so efficient from Fortaleza, and we might just have to pump the ball into the box. I don't see any other way of beating these guys. 41 minutes have elapsed, and Carlau, set piece, delight for Fortaleza, and I am very unhappy with that. The players have definitely taken that badly, and Cesar Davis has not hit the target there. 45 and a half minutes have gone. Can we avoid real humiliation here. No, what a save by Eduardo. Oh, it could have been placed better. But Vasco's dominance has mattered very little. It's 1-1 at the half-time whistle, and this is absolutely dreadful. We'll have to play out wide now. There's no other explanation for it. We'll turn off, look for overlap, and we might go expressive and see how we get on. But no yellow cards, at least the players are listening. But I have to say, another example of poor performances in the first half. I have to say Barrios and Evander are the only positives. The defensive work could have been better, and make sure it's still 1-0, but you have to go out and avoid another draw. It could be very, very tricky to win a cup final at the ground of your opponents. Having the first leg at home isn't necessarily a good thing, depending on how you look at it. So the second half begins. Vasco need to hit far more on target and avoid the repercussions of the counter-attack that seems to be Fortaleza's strategy with the 4-4-2. Lopez on the ball, great interception from Goliaths. Evander goes to Batista. Again, he's just too slow in the box. He's not willing to take a gamble. Here he is. Oh, he does get my respect there with a decent effort, but it's cleared well over the top, and it's a goal kick now for Batista. Has a run, beats a defender, feeds Barrios, Evander, Batista, another chance wasted. Stick to positions, throw in, one back by Vasco, Sepulveda to Batista. Gustavo was equal to it though, and it is a positive start to the second half. We'll go flexible. The passing has been good, could have been better. Evander, good shepherding. However, Muritzka has it back. Bruno Lopez almost overlapped the defender and he got a shot away, but it's saved. I'd say calm down, just avoid the pressure getting to the head. That's a beautiful cross! Yo, Batista has his goal at last. Oh, how I've needed that. 2-1, and Vasco da Gama have the ascendancy all over again, but it could go to waste had Bruno Lopez scored. But Fortaleza are not giving up, and neither will I. We must make a substitution, but for now the two substitutions will do, and we'll move on swiftly. They've brought on Ayrton. Yeah, I don't know where he plays, centre midfield, that's alright. Corner again! Oh, I didn't see what happened. It may have hit the post, but Fortaleza nearly ruined our ambitions. They go for another corner. Fernandinho though. Oh, it's Ayrton. It's been claimed by Ayrton, and Vasco da Gama have blown it all over again. My God, 2 away goals conceded. We have to score in the return cup game or we are doomed to failure. The Copa Libertadores is demanding us to respond. Batista can be the poacher, but I don't know what has gone wrong with the defence. The set piece defending has been dreadful, and we have 50 minutes to save this. 2-2 is absolutely far from good. We'll turn that off. We'll see what will happen. Can we avoid another opportunity? William 2-on-1 finds Ayrton, hits his own player, but Geisen has decided to let it run. No pressure, come on, don't let me down. You don't, you haven't been that bad, guys. It's a dreadful result in the circumstances. Fernandinho clears, and this tournament is on a knife edge now. Fortaleza will be absolutely thrilled with themselves. It's not good enough. I know you're disappointed, but some of the performances were poor, and none of the substitutions made the impact I would have liked to see. But I don't know, 2 away goals, that's what I feared the most, and they were both from set pieces when we took the lead originally. So we have every chance. We'll have to be very defensively sound. If we consult the rule book, I I don't see any away goals. I don't know. Well, we'll just check out the semi-final for context. Away goals used. So away goals are not used. I don't see them. So maybe it's not so bad. I was fairly certain we had the away goals, but maybe not. We just need to win at the Castelao, and we will be the cup winners for the second time and the first time in my career. But Joinville, a team that should pose no threat whatsoever, they are relegated in all but name. We should win that game, and then we'll return for the away cup final, what I consider to be the true cup final. We will see how we get on in that. Bye for now, everybody.